Alright, so what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. So, a while ago, I made a video on like the top 5 unit that you must have, and that was a while ago. Ever since then, there's been a lot of update and many things changed. So, in today's video, I'm going to show you guys the new top 5 unit that you need to have if you're playing ALS. If you're new to ALS, this video is a great way as a guide on which unit you should be focusing on if you're new to the game and you don't really know what units are the best for you and your team. Now, the 5 units that I will be showcasing for today that you must have will represent their own element. Now, they might not be the best at their element, but they are probably the easiest and at the same time the most useful for almost every situation. So yeah, let's just immediately start into going on an infinite match, and I'm gonna showcase each character and I'm gonna tell you guys why you should have the character and also how to get each of the character as well. Alright, now that we're in game, let me just place on my farm and immediately showcase the first unit. So the first unit that I will be showcasing as one of the unit that you guys must have is Kyito. Now the Kyito that I'm talking about is the ultimate Kyito. So yeah, let me place him down immediately right here. He will cost 1000 to place down, but as you can see, he is insanely overpowered starting out, even without glitch and just glorious and avatar. So yeah, first of all, let me tell you guys how to get Kyito. So to get Kyito Celestial King, first you need Kyito the rare version that you can get from any banner, and then afterwards you need to craft an item called the Frozen Rose Blade that you can craft in World 2, and then after that you will need Winter Essence that you can get from Raid, I think, and also some Water Essence, Mythic Shard, and Legendary Spirit Shard as well. The usual, you know. After you do that, you can evolve your rare Kyito into the Celestial Kyito. To evolve Celestial Kyito into the Ultimate Kyito, you will need an item called the Celestial King Blade, which dropped from the Act 6 raid of the Sword Art Online map, and that's not really a hard thing to do. And yeah, for a really overpowered unit, he is surprisingly easy to get. And then afterward you just need some light essence, water essence, and the correct spirit shard, and there you go, you have Ultimate King Celestial Kyito. Why is Kyito the best light unit that you should get for starter or just overall? First of all, he is very cheap to place down, just costing 1000. Another thing is that on placement, he will immediately unlock all 3 of his passive. The first one, which means that he will just deal insanely much more damage to a certain element. Like for example, for dark element or dark enemies, he will deal 4 times instead of 3 times, and so on and so on. And also every 5 wave, he will increase his damage by 2%, which cap at 30%. So yeah, so you just place him down and he will over time become stronger by himself. His second passive, basically every 5 attack, it will increase his crit chance until 40%, and also crit damage as well by 40%. And also if there are other swordsmen in around his range, he will also increase his damage. So as you can see, his current crit chance is 85%. So yeah, this is basically Kyito with passive as well, but not max upgrade. And then his last passive basically mean that every 5 hit from Kyito, there will be a 40% chance to basically 2 times his crit damage. And if he did hit that 2 times crit damage, he will also increase his range and reduce SPA. And you can see that every time his range and SPA number change, it means that this critical slashes actually working. So you can see that it's happening very often. Now let's start upgrading Kyito. The first change is called Sword Enhanced Ice, which will turn his attack into a full AoE, and he will also deal Blizzard now. This itself is already insanely OP. You keep upgrading him to upgrade 8, and then he will unlock an attack called Star Stream, which is basically similar to his base non-upgraded version, which is just a giant triangle AoE, but he deals so much damage. And if you combine that with his crit chance and crit damage, and also his other 2 passive, he deals so much more damage. And lastly, this is his max stat with no buff, and just his max passive with crit range as skill tree and over avatar and glorious. So yeah, Kyito is insanely good. I recommend getting him if you're new to the game because he's also really easy to get as well. There's no complicated story or like complicated character you need, just get the rare Kirito and that's all, and you can start from there. Alright, so the next character, obviously coming from the most recent godly update, is the man himself, Benimaru, King of Destruction. To get Benimaru is actually quite a hard, I won't say a hard, but quite annoying. So first of all, in my previous unit that you should get video, I put Benimaru right there because he got an evolution. To get Benimaru, obviously you can get Benimaru from Banner 3 as an ultimate, and then to evolve him, you will need to do the Infernal Dungeon to buy an item called the Sun Wheel from the shop, and then afterwards you will need an item called the Magma Essence, which you can get from Act 2 of the Legend stage of Oasis story mode, and then after that you will just need the correct essence and spirit shard to evolve him, and there you go, you have an evolved Benimaru right here with Glitch Glorious. And the first thing that you will notice is that he has 2 attack effects. He deals Black Flame and Sunburn at the same time. And also, if you think, oh yeah, Black Flame, isn't Black Flame kind of suck? Well, his passive kind of contradict that, because his first passive basically means that his Black Flame duration is equal to his current SPA, and his second passive is called Master of Pyrokinesis, which basically means that the more enemies that is burning around him, he will deal more damage. So he will cost 800 to place down, and this is his starting stat with crit and range skill tree with Glitch and Glorious as well. So yeah, let's start upgrading him. His first attack change is on upgrade 6, which called Fireball Engage, and it will turn his attack into a circle AoE. Now let's continue upgrading him. There's another attack, I didn't saw it, my bad. And then Amaterasu, upgrade 10, and then this is his max stat. And also he will unlock an ability, which is a spammable one as well, so you can just press auto ability on this one. What this ability does is basically it will increase his dot damage, and also for every enemies around him it will also get more damage. Now the reason I picked Benimaru over Unohana for the fire unit is because Benimaru is a little bit, I wouldn't say easier to get, but he's better because he's hybrid because he's a heal unit, which Unohana is not on placement. And also Benimaru has 2 attack effect. Get Benimaru if you can. Trust me, this guy has one of the highest DPS in the entire game. Now, the next character that I will be discussing is the same character from the previous video, Jouro. But the difference now is that Jouro actually got reworked. So this Jouro is actually different from the Jouro that you saw in the previous video of the top 5 unit that you should get. Now, what is the Jouro rework? Well, obviously you can immediately tell by his damage and his SPA. His SPA is so much lower now, but his damage they reduce his damage by quite a lot, I might say. And he also lose his percentage passive attack, and also healing base attack also disappeared. But he got a new passive now. Now, what this passive does is basically every time he attacks, he will basically gain damage and range. He will keep increasing his damage and range every time he attacks an enemy, and it will reset every 60 seconds, and so on and so on. He's still really good. I don't know why people think that Jouro is trash now. He's still insanely good. Let's immediately start upgrading him now. Another thing about Jouro is that he is insanely cheap as well compared to Benimaru. Because you can see right here, Benimaru, if I max him out right here, he costs almost 700,000. And then Kyito is very cheap as well, another thing as well. I think Kyito costs like 500,000 in total, which is like kind of insane. Yeah, $500,000. For the amount of things that you get with Kyito, he's insanely worth it. You can easily max him out with 2 farm or just 1 farm. Let's continue upgrading him. He will unlock his full AoE on upgrade 6, and he's very cheap now. You can see that he's cost 100k so far, which he deal this amount of damage. And let's max him out immediately, and he will unlock his ability at upgrade 8. And this is the max out Jouro. He will deal around 480 million damage every 4 seconds with 100 range. His ability is still similar to his previous rework, but the difference is that it doesn't deal damage anymore. So yeah, and he also his cost got cut by half. That's another thing. So yeah, still get Jouro. I don't know why people say he's bad unit. He is not. Jouro is still insanely good. So yeah, he's still one of the best nature characters in the entire game. Let's move on to the next character, which might surprise you guys. It's gonna be Rin from the Blue Lock update. Now, I know that the Blue Lock update is quite disappointing to a lot of people, but we do get some really good unit, and the best unit from that update is Rin. Now, with Rin, he's going to be water, but he will cost 2,000 to place down, which is a little bit more expensive than all of the other units combined. But he will start out as a hybrid as well. Every unit here is a hybrid, and 2 of them are heal units. So yeah, and this is oh, why did I max him out? My bad. Okay, so this is his start, his placement damage with Avatar and Glorious. Again, max skill tree, crit range, and he will have 2 passives. The first one is basically he will increase his own damage the more unit there are in his range. And so basically, for example, he have currently 2.43 million damage. If I place on Kirito, he will increase his damage, and if I place on Benimaru again, it will increase his damage, and so on and so on. And this only works until there are 5 exact units in his range. If you place a 6th one, it will basically minus by 10% or minus his damage. So yeah, so if you want the strongest version of Rin, you need to basically place 5 units around him. Okay, now farm unit doesn't count because it says right here excluding farm, and his second passive is basically every 5 attack he will deal 1.5 of his current damage and also increase his damage, not damage, increase his range by 1%, capping out at 10. So let's sell all of the other units to make Rin a little bit weaker. So Rin is like a solo man. You just basically place a unit around him and he will become stronger on his own. So yeah, and he is also currently one of the highest DPS as well, which is surprising for a Celestial unit. So let's start upgrading him. His first attack will be Egoist Dribble. And there you go, 200 million immediately at upgrade 7. And let's continue upgrading him. And he will cap out at 267 million, 77 range, 5 second SPA. Now, there are stronger water unit in the game, but he is probably the easiest to get. Now, how do you get Rin? Well, to get Rin, first unit is unevolved version, which you can get from the banner. He will be a Celestial as well. And then to evolve him, you will need an item called the Destruction Eye, which you can buy from the raid shop because they have a, what's it called, raid map as well. Let's start basically buffing him by just placing unit around him. So his stat is currently 267 million, place Kirito down, almost 300 million, 320 million, 350 million, and lastly 375 million. So yeah, Rin is another unit that I recommend getting because he's really easy and he's also deals so much damage and he's also very easy to use as well. So yeah. Now let's get on to the last character for this video, which is gonna be a quite surprising one because he's probably out of anyone here the hardest to get, which is Goku Black. Now this is not the Goku Black that all of you guys probably remember from back then. This is boosted Goku Black. To get Goku Black, you probably know the insanely annoying grind, which is doing the Central City Raid Act 6, and you can get Goku Dark from there. And then to evolve him, you will need to buy an item called the Sight of Sorrow, which you can buy in the raid shop as well. And then you can evolve him, and then to boost him you will need 45 of the infernal token. I have max skill tree Goku Dark right here with Avatar and Glorious, and as you can see his passive is currently working. Now Goku Black boosted might not be the greatest unit or the best dark unit, but he is the easiest unit to get while giving out some of the highest damage in the entire game for how much effort that you need to put in to get the unit. So let's do a showcase on him. First of all, here he will start out with 2 passive. The first passive will basically mean that every 5 attack he will mark an enemy in his AoE with a debuff called Judgment, and then every 10 attack he will summon a clone of themselves, and you can see that as well. Yeah, and what Judgment does is basically it will make the enemy take more damage, it will make Goku Black deal more damage as well, and it will also increase Goku Black range. Now the second passive is called Rose of Ascension. What this basically does is that if he's attacking an enemy with less than 50% HP, he will deal 5% more damage every time he hit, which capped at 30%. And if the enemy is marked with Judgment, this cap is increased to 50%. So he will deal 50% more damage to enemies that are health. Sorry, my bad. Now let's start upgrading. He will cost 800 to place down, and he's a heal unit again. Also, his clone will have the same upgrade that he is in currently. So currently he's on upgrade 0. If I upgrade him 1, his clone will also be upgraded once. So yeah, let's start upgrading him. Upgrade 2, upgrade 3, upgrade 4. New attack called Rose Kamehameha, which is gonna be a quite larger circle AoE. And he will also deal bleed. So yeah, he doesn't deal black flame anymore, which is good because black flame sucks. Anyway, let's continue upgrading. There you go, another attack called the same name, but this time it's gonna be a clone AoE, and you can see that all of his clone also on the same upgrade. And look at that damage, 200 million with 300 million bleed. So yeah, he deals so much damage currently. And let's max him out, and he maxed out at 500 million. to max him out. We will need 500 million, and then for his damage it's gonna be 291 million, 100 range, which is insanely. He basically covered the entire map. If I just place him like on this hill right here, he will cover the entire map. He will have 5.63 second SPA. Now bleed is 6 second. My Goku Black right here has triple S SPA. If I just lower down the rating of the SPA, I might be able to get around 6.1 second, which will basically loop perfectly into the bleed. So yeah, the bleed will deal 400 million damage. So yeah, all of the unit that I'm showcasing today costs around 500,000 to max out, except Benimaru. Benimaru is the only exception. He will cost a little bit more. Just to make sure, Goku Black costs 500 million, like not 500 million, sorry, around like 520,000. He will cost 510,000. Jouro will cost 540,000. Kyito will cost 510,000 again. And then lastly, Benimaru will cost around 800,000 to max out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and learn something from this video. And lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope you guys have a very good lucky day if you're rolling for glitch or avatar. And yeah, have fun on the grind, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.